Hey, what up, gang? So we are back. We are back. All right, so we are continuing this webinar, I guess this process with getting hired at Swift.com. Swift.com. Sheesh. Swift Transportation, Swift and Night, their online process. Um, I'm in the middle of taking some tests. I'm walking y'all through it. Hopefully, this can help y'all out as y'all go on the journey of getting your CDL and picking a company to maybe jumpstart your career with, or if you plan on pivoting, right? Try something different. Swift is an okay company to go with. We're going to give them a try. Check them out. So, I'm gonna try to pick up where I left off at. Just go ahead and present my screen. Hopefully, I can get there. Maybe I have to go back through my email. But so in the previous video, I completed 2 modules. So I'm going to be on module number 3. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully I can. Hopefully y'all can see that. Yep. Yep. Y'all can see that. Looks good. Yeah, that's beautiful. I like the way that looks better. All right. Go back to that page. And those first 2 modules were weather conditions. Go check that out. Crash reporting. And now this is, well, we're going to be able to do it. Going to have to log in. Let's see something. All right. So it kicked me out, I guess, because I stayed out of the module too long. But what I'm doing right now is I'm logging in. All right. Press OK. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put you on the tab that we need. All right. We need to get on the right screen. All right. Okay, so that got some information up there too, so we can check out while we're there. All right. So first, let's see. Let's go here. Yep. Let's go with this one first. All right. So as you can see, it gives you your progress. What they call it's learning tracks. So I have 10% completed. We're gonna go ahead and click this view all button. And there it says 2 out of 20. I have to get done before uh, the first week of March, and then I still have 0 of 30 I have to get completed as well. I would like to go ahead and get that out the way, so whenever I hit the ground running, whenever I reach up to Swift, I could just hit the ground running, I should say. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the correct screen that we need. All right. Because it looked like the module has started. Yep. There it is right there. Yep. And once again, this it says driver pre-trip in cab. This is a pre-trip. All right. Then you got an introduction. And it goes all the way down. So what we're going to do is just press this white button right here that says start course and see what we got. All right. got some reading. All right. It says click the link below to watch an introduction from Scott Stewart. Scott Storch. Driver pre-trip and post-trip inspections process. All Swift drivers should understand the absolute importance of the pre-trip and post-trip process. Performing a thorough and high quality pre-trip and post-trip is one of the most critical elements. Yes, it is. All drivers must become experts at pre-trips and post-trip. You should. This will drive our on-time deliveries, increase downtime, and drive down operations costs. Yes, 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 and another yes. So, how will this benefit the drivers? Reducing unscheduled shop visit. Yes. Identify small problems before they continue to grow. Yes. Reduce the chance of delays due to breakdown. Yes. You got a checklist, enhanced training, your reference guide. You are the driver. You, the driver, will be given the foundation to accomplish a very high pre-trip, post-trip inspection, as well as becoming more efficient. All these steps in the manual are numbered to correspond to the steps on the checklist for easy reference on the pre-trip and post-trip checklist. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're not gonna view that PDF, but we're gonna go ahead and get on started, man. All right, so I'm gonna blow this up. Hopefully, it's not too blurry on your end. So we got a driver vehicle inspection report. All right, you got your truck number, your trailer number. This is in cab, permit book, registration, extra fuses, fire extinguisher, compressor cut in and out, low air warning, gauge operation, air pressure buildup, park and brake. All right, so your permit book should be somewhere in your cab. Extra fuses, they should be in your cab somewhere overhead, near your permit book, your fire extinguisher. Maybe it's going to be right here beside your cab, beside your chair, or maybe it's in the compartment outside of the truck where you have to, get to it. Maybe it's under your bunk. Maybe you can grab it like that. Low air warning, that's going to be on your dash. Gauge operations, that's in your dash as well. Air pressure buildup, you do that by your brake test. Pumping those brakes, and you got to pump those brakes. Pump your brakes. And the parking brake, right? Let's see if I can remember it off the top of my head. Push those brakes in, pump those brakes until you lose air pressure, and then the brakes will just pop out. Air leaks. You're gonna be listening for air leaks, and you can hear because air leak is pretty damn loud too. Whenever you're in your cab, you can you can hear a hissing noise because there have been plenty of times where I pull up to a stop sign, stop light, and especially like a fuel island, and my glad hands aren't connected properly, and it's just a loud hissing. It's like, psst, I mean, really loud. If y'all know what I'm talking about, if y'all ever heard that air leak before, y'all let me know. Leave a comment. But it's very loud. You can hear it, and all it is just readjusting your glad hands. Horns, check your steering wheel, air horn. If you're in a Volvo, you got your city horn, and your air horn is on your steering wheel as well in the middle. Event recorder obstruction. I'm going to assume that is your windshield camera right here, and maybe up there in the front of the truck, but it says in cab, so it got to be right here up front. Windshield wipers and washers, windshields. Make sure you got some fluid in there. Windshield wipers, make sure you got fluid. Yep, defrost operation when you turn that heat up. That defroster is working. You put that thing on full blast. Make sure it's going. Seat belts. Make sure it's not cut, torn, or frayed. And it connects. Click, click. And steering looseness. I've never had a loose steering wheel, but I'm quite sure somebody's had one. That's why it's in there, and it had caused some damage when they found out at the wrong time. Under the hood, check that dipstick, check the coolant level. Walking over there on the other side, power steering fluid level. Check that. Any fluid and exhaust leaks, always look up under the truck. Drive belts, you can see them while they're turning, hopefully. Suspension and steering components. Making sure all of that's good. Frame and frame components. Make sure nothing is welded and cracked and broken and bent up. Brake condition, check those brake pads and make sure they got the right amount of brake pad on them. Make sure those slack adjusters are in place. Tire conditions, nothing flat, nothing too bald, and up to the correct PSI and manufacturer specification, right? Put a coin in there, and if the coin whole head is visible, go ahead and swap that on out. Tractor outside, you got the lights operating, mirrors good, nothing cracked, bent, or broken right there. The warning lights, that's your flashing lights right there. Everything's working, cracked, bent, broken, no, amber in color, flashing. Any loose components, nothing is loose or dangling, everything's there. Fuel tanks mounted, nothing cracked, bent, or broken. Nothing's leaking. Reflective devices, everything is in place, nothing cracked, bent, or broken right there. You got trailer supply lines, all right, and the hoses, they connect. Nothing cut or frayed or dry rotted. Spare tire mount, it's in place. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. Yep. Suspension components, everything's good there. Nothing cracked, bent, or broken right there. And brake components, the brakes are straight. Brake pads are good. Fifth wheel latching, you can see that it's in place. Mud flaps in place. Nothing cracked, bent, broken, frayed, dry rotted. Tires in good condition. Nothing cracked, bent, broken. And the seals, they're good. Trailer outside, the glad hands, 7-way plug, they're good. Registration, it has its inspection, that's good. Kingpin in place, not cracked, bent, or broken. Landing gear in working condition, nothing cracked, bent, or broken right there. Even though you might get to some landing gear and you like, man, how in the hell you got here? Because you rusty, but you working though. You might need some gloves to operate that mug, but it's working. Side rail and chassis damage. Nothing cracked, bent, or broken right there. Slider Airlines, nothing crap being broken or frayed. Sliding suspension pins and handles, nothing crap being broken right there. Nothing dry rotted. The tires, nothing dry rotted right there. Oil and grease leaks, that's a no. Suspension components, go up under the trailer, check those wheels, check those tandems. Everything's in place up under there, nothing crap being broken. Brake components, brakes in good condition, the mud flaps good condition, ABS operations, that's in good condition. All right, the bumper and the license tag, that's in place. Got the light so you can see it. Yep. The doors, they work properly. Loose components, no. Cargo is secure. That's it. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on down. Click the link below to watch the video on permit book registration.
Trucks, this cannot go with you. This stays in here because almost everything that's in here applies to this specific truck, this VIN number. So make sure your driver leader goes through it every once in a while. You want to make sure everything's up to date, particularly right around the first of the year when everything renews. So just make sure that this is in the truck.
Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear? Hold on. Let's go back. Cause y'all probably didn't hear it.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is just make sure my permit book is here in the truck. Now, this stays with the truck. So if you ever transfer trucks, this cannot go with you. This stays in here because almost everything that's in here applies to this specific truck, this VIN number. So make sure your driver leader goes through it every once in a while. You want to make sure everything's up to date, particularly right around the first of the year when everything renews. So just make sure that this is in the truck.
All right. All right. Let's go to next screen. Do, 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 do. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're looking good. Okay. So he didn't say a whole lot right there, but this is what their permit book will look like. I know the image is kind of blurry, but it's all basic stuff, right? It has the truck number up there. Okay. And it will have the registration card in there. Yeah. Whatever type of permits that they need, like liquor licenses and different permits to travel to different states. That would be in there. Registration, insurance, that would be in there. All pretty simple stuff right there. Okay. And it says each state's let's just read some of this stuff. It says each state has its own requirements for commercial motor vehicle operating authority. The permit book should have any necessary permits. Yeah. So, like I said, each state. I know I wasn't able to go to New York this winter because I didn't have the proper permits um, in my truck. So I missed out on some good paying loads. At the same time, I missed out on some increment weather. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad, right? You got to take the bad with the good. Extra fuses. All right, these fuses will be in the cab. Okay. They got another video. We're just gonna click the link just to see what it's about. Hopefully, I'm moving in and out, swiftly. Get it? Swiftly.
Next thing you want to do is make sure you have a spare fuses. Now, a little simple baggie full of fuses. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. There's something with an assortment of extra fuses because this is a
Very
DOT
rare do
requirement that
I
you
have
carry
to
these.
use any fuses.
Now, this will stay with you, the driver. So this goes in your
Very rare.
toolkit.
It says each truck or tractor and bus, except those towed in driveway towway operations, must be equipped as follows. 6B, spare fuses, power units for which fuses are needed to operate any required parts and accessories must have at least one spare fuse for each type. All right, so if you got to know a little something about some electrical work out here too. Yeah. Fuses. I mean, that would have said, man, you're gonna have to learn how to use those fuses. But I'm gonna tell you, man, you won't have to struggle with fuses over the road, especially as a company driver, because you can always just pull up to a Petro, a TA or any kind of shop that's over the road, and they'll do that for you, man. Just call it in with your dispatch, and they'll get that taken care of. Needed for those spare parts, and we're going to press continue right here, and test your fire extinguisher. That's going to be in your truck somewhere. Like I said, maybe it's going to be beside your chair. Maybe it's going to be up under your bunk. And they got some images right here for you. Not too good, but they got them. Then it says emergency equipment on all power units. Each truck, tractor, bus, except for the ones in towed. All right, fire extinguishers minimum ratings. Hazardous materials must be equipped with the fire extinguisher having underwriters. Yep. Labeling, marking. Yep. Visual indicators, conditions, location, and mounting. Yep. Must be filled and located so that it is accessible and ready for use. All right. Got to be able to see that it's ready and ready to go. But before you get your truck moving, you will do a pre-trip. You have to get a DOT inspection, right? So you'll get a DOT inspection first and foremost, right? And then you'll just check it just to take a glance at it and be like, hey, it's in good working condition. Compressor cut in and out. Verify purge valve operation. Start the engine and run the compressor to cut out purge valve. You should hear a sudden burst of air. Psh. Allow the system to lose pressure, cycling the foot brake with controlled slow depressions that compressor cuts in and starts building air. You will notice it. Right. DOT requires the cut in pressure is no less than 100 psi. I'm going to do something right. Let's see what he do with his pre-trip.
What you want to do is start the truck. And when you do this, you're checking the gauges. They'll do a sweep and make sure that at least those gauges are responding to voltage. Go ahead and start the truck up. And you notice in this particular case, my air is already built up. Now, it doesn't matter whether we're starting from an empty tank or whether we're already built up. The tests are pretty much going to go the same. What you're looking for is the air compressor to start building air no less than 100 pounds on a truck tractor. It can't, there's no DOT spec saying how high it can go. On our trucks, it's typically about the 120 to 135 range.
That's most.
But again, you want that 25-pound spread at least, So what I hear is you see that I'm built up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feather my brakes to bring down the air pressure slowly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to right about 100 pounds. When it gets there, I'm going to make sure it's building. Now, I can put my foot on the accelerator, rev the engine up so to speed up the process a little bit. But as long as it starts building that air pressure at no less than 100 pounds, my compressor's cutting incorrectly. If it goes below 100 pounds, that's a violation. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for it to come all the way out to what they call compressor cut out. That's when it stops building air. The way I'm going to know that is I hear the purge from my air dryer. That's a big rushing. Now, that's something you want to hear. So that's telling you that the compressor is.
Hey, that's crazy. Usually goes like, psh. But yeah, that's how it goes, man. Great day. That was wild. Anyway, let me see something. I'm gonna stop doing that. All right. So yeah, man. So you got to see him purge the air. Oh yeah, I'm getting sleepy. Ooh. Let's scroll down. And here's what he's talking about. Run the air pressure until you hear it purge about 130. Low air warning. Drain tanks for making surface brake applications. All right, let's see this. Hey, Swift, I need to get that taken care of because look, I tried to do a presentation on it and y'all ain't got your stuff together. I don't like that, y'all. Hold on. I had clicked that link, and this is what I got. Click the link, and this is what I got. All right, I need to do better, okay? But just for the sake of this video, I wonder if y'all got, before I even do that, I wonder did y'all get a lot of dings on y'all video? Did a lot of comments like, yo, that is not the correct way to check your air brakes. I wonder if that's what happened. Because people can be so. They can be pretty mean out there.
Hi, I'm Mike Carlson, Safety Manager.
I don't know if he gets it right, but we're going to see if he gets it right, though.
At ATS. Today, we're going to go through the three-step air brake test. Three-step air brake test is something that most drivers already had to do just to get their CDL. It's also something that officers can and probably will make a driver do at a roadside inspection. It's also a great way to make sure that there are no leaks in the system and that the tractor and trailer protection valves close when they should. So we're going to go through those steps today and show you how to do it. The first thing we want to do when we do the three-step air brake test is chalk the tires outside. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to release the parking and the trailer brakes. I don't want the truck to roll away on me. Once I do that, I'm going to let the truck run until I have full air pressure in the tanks. Once I have full pressures in the tank, now I'm going to turn the truck off and then turn the switch back on so I can get my gauges up and running again. The first step in the three-step air brake test is I want to make sure that there's no leaks in the system. To do this, I'm going to push and hold the brake pedal down. There will be an initial drop in pressure, and once the gauges stabilize, I'm going to start counting to 60 seconds. I should not lose more than 4 psi in those 60 seconds. Now that I'm sure that there is no leaks in the system, the next step is I want to make sure that the low air alarms activate when they should. So I'm going to drain the air by pumping the brake pedal, and I should hear and see the alarm come on before 60 psi. So now I can hear the low air alarm. I also can see it up on the dash. The next step is I want to make sure that the protection valves pop out when they should. So I'm going to keep pumping the brake, keep draining the air until both of my trailer and my parking valve pop out. And that needs to happen before 20 psi. Once the valves popped out, I know that my tractor and trailer protection valves close like they should. And that concludes a three-step air brake test. So I know the whole system is working properly. The three-step
looks good to me, man. Hey, Swift, I just did y'all a favor, man. Y'all need to get with that. That's how you do a brake test. That's the brake test for the pre-trip, right? That's how you do it. All right, let's get back to my screen. All right. All right. We're not even gonna watch that video because shoot, y'all already done. I don't know what y'all got going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling if y'all got the right thing on, man. So I'm gonna just keep on pushing. Maybe I should though. You know what? Let's be thorough. Okay, it's there. They got a video there. We're gonna go ahead and watch it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna just put mute. All right, let's watch this video. See what we got. It says in-cab 1.6 gauge operation.
And the next thing I'm going to do kind of together, I'm going to watch my gauges build. I'm going to just make sure all my gauges are working, as well as my air compressor buildup. Now you'll see my oil pressure's reading. If you notice, when the engine's cold, the oil pressure will be a little higher. We want to make sure not only is it reading, but it's not reading, 10 pounds at idle or something like that. Typically, when the engine's hot, it should be right around 10 or 15 pounds when it's pretty hot outside. Otherwise, when you first start up, it's obviously going to be higher. Just make sure the oil pressure is reading, and of course, the pressure comes up within a second or two from you starting the engine. I can see my fuel gauge is working as well as my depth gauge. My tachometer, because my engine's running, I can see that. Air pressure is building. Now, at this point, I can go ahead and check
let's
it's working as well as my depth gauge.
You got depth, you got oil. And what do you call this?
My tachometer, because my engine's running, I can see that. Air pressure is building. Now, at this point, I can go ahead and check my pressure buildup. This is going to go from 85 pounds to 100 pounds. And I want to make sure it builds on our trucks in less than 40 seconds. DOT has a formula for the volume of air the truck must have in order to operate the brakes and everything else. So on our trucks, it would be about 40 seconds. So typical is about 20 seconds for it to build up. Now, if you notice, there's no 85 pounds on the gauge. So you're going to have to kind of visually estimate it between the 75 and 100 pound mark and then count. Go ahead and count to yourself, 20 seconds. And you're doing this with your foot on the accelerator. So you run the thing up to govern RPM and then count from 85 to 100. As long as it's not in the high 30s, this test is good. You see my water temperature also is slowly beginning to climb. First thing in the morning, obviously, it's going to be reading dead cold unless for some reason you've been using your OptiIdle or something like that in order to run the engine. Might be some heat in it. But you should start, as we go, you should see it gradually start to climb. The speedometer obviously is not going to work until you move. However, we're doing this as a post-trip. You just pulled in off the road. You know whether or not your speedometer is working. Mm-hmm. Chances are in a pre-trip, it's going to still be operating. However, if you find it's not operating when you go to take off, you're just going to go straight to some place to get a service.
All right. Okay. Not a whole lot there, just some information. Not a whole lot there. So basically, he just showed you all the gauges. And if it's not working, you're just going to go to a shop to get it fixed. Like I said, while you're over the road, you're going to stop at a Speedco, right? That's at Love's or the TA Service Center. That's Petro and TA. Those are the two that I use mainly. I don't really use the Pilot service centers, but you can. Or if Swift has their own shop that they use, they'll probably send you there. I do know one thing. Let me see. Then you got the air pressure buildup, compressor build time, 85 psi to 100, right? 40 seconds. All right, we already done saw the air pressure test. We already done saw that. Park and brake test. We already done saw that too. We already done saw that. Then it says air leaks. Check for audible air leaks. Let's just do that.
Okay, to check for air leaks, I'm going to be using my air pressure gauges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my truck off. However, I'm going to turn the ignition back on. And the reason I'm turning the ignition back on is so this way the gauges will read because they're electric. So it has to have the ignition on. So my air is pretty much fully built up here. I'm going to go ahead and release both my tractor and my trailer parking brakes with my foot on the service brake all the way. And I'm going to wait about a minute. Now you'll notice that the gauges drop probably 20, 25 pounds. And that's because now air is going to fill up all the chambers and things like that. Plus also my service brake application, I'm getting a lot more air rushing. So give it a second or two for it to stabilize. You'll see it stop dropping. Now I'm just going to hold it here in this position and wait about a minute. With that, I'm looking for that gauge to continue to drop. If it continues to drop, I've got an air leak. The spec is from DOT is 4 pounds per minute if you're carrying a trailer. If you're not, you're just a bobtail or a straight truck, it's 3 pounds per minute. So if I don't see a noticeable drop in my gauges, and of course I can't hear anything, most air leaks, sometimes you hear them passing through the valves, your parking brake valves. Sometimes you'll hear it passing through there. And if that's the case, you may have an air leak, in which case we got to get that addressed. However, if I don't see any discernible drop on the gauge, my test passes.
All right. Pretty simple stuff, man. So basically, like I say, you're just doing a pre-trip. All right, air brake systems. That's what it just showed you right there. With the engine stop, service brakes fully applied, there may be an additional 1 psi drop per minute for additional towed vehicle. Boom. Check both city and air horns for proper operation. We got to see the video. We do.
My horns, just a simple tap, all right, and a simple pull will tell me whether or not my horns are working. I want them both to work. This way, I have either one in case I need them.
Hey, sound good to me, man. All right, what's the next video? Yeah, I wasn't too sure about this one, but we're going to check it out, though. Let's see.
One thing that's not necessarily a DOT, but it's more of a SWIFT requirement is your event recorder. The event recorder is there for your benefit. You want to make sure that it's not loose in its mount. You want to make sure it's not hanging from anywhere. And you also want to make sure that the lens is not obstructed. So if you got anything on the outside of the windshield that
Yeah, that's what y'all looking at.
is obstructing that vision.
Okay, so they got 3 different images. They got one on the windshield, one on the dash, it looks like. Yeah, man. So y'all be careful with that.
You're going to want to clean it off. If it happens to be one of the ones that sit on the dashboard, you want to make sure that nothing's obstructing it. So this way you can see the road, because it's there for your benefit. I want it to be able to see the road. So if anything were to happen, there's a clear record of what happened.
Mhm. Windshield wipers, we don't have to watch a video on that, do we? Let me click on it to make sure that it's available. It is. It's there. All right. Windshield wipers and windshield wiper fluids. We ain't gonna read through that one. Defrost operations. We're just gonna click the link, make sure it's available. It's working. It's good. Yep, it's good. Yep. Ain't gonna worry about that one. Seat belts. That one.
That seat belts, want to make sure the seat belt doesn't have any damage on the webbing. The buckle is in good shape. There's no.
Yeah, we're good on that. This is interesting. Easy way to check. Keep your fingers stationary. Move the wheel. Free play. Let's see this one.
Now, steering looseness. With the engine off, just take your steering wheel and give it a little wiggle. Now, you'll feel in most of our equipment there's going to be no looseness. Okay, you should be able to move the wheel, and that's because there's play in the parts to a certain extent internally, and it has to be that way because it can't be extremely tight. However, when you feel it, if you ever felt one that's bad, it's actually no resistance to a certain extent before it starts tightening up. This one, if you feel it, and most of our trucks, this is the way it'll feel, you'll feel where as soon as you start to move it, you'll feel resistance, and the other way too. That's going to let you know that the steering doesn't have any loose components between here and the knuckles. The spec we give is, we use the manual steering spec, which is a 16-inch steering wheel, shouldn't have more than 2.5 inches of free play. All right, so you won't get that out of doing this unless you really hark on.
Free play is just free play this way, free turn this way. It can't turn 2.5 inches either direction. Say free play. Can't turn 2.5 inches to the right, 2.5 inches to the left. All right. I mean, we do be using some words like, it kind of makes me wonder how some people do get CDLs, because we be coming up with some words, man. Okay, what's this? All right, we have 4 questions. When checking the fire extinguisher, what are the 3 major items to inspect? Okay, how many? 3. We got 3 majors. Okay. The fire extinguisher must be secure in its mount. Good charge. All right. Make sure the pin is in place and secure. The fire extinguisher must be mounted in an upright position. Nope, we don't need that. So I think we got the ones that work. Let's see. Make sure the pin is in place and secured with a seal. And then the fire extinguisher must show a good charge on the gauge. And fire extinguisher must be secure in its mount. Let's see. Oh yeah. DOT requires air compressor cut in no less than 100 psi. Let's see. I put true on that. All right. The low air warning test fails if it is above 55 or if the buzzer or light does not operate. So this one is going to be a little bit tricky for me. All right, the low air warning test fails if it is above 55 psi or if either buzzer or light does not operate. Too bad. All right, defroster operation is a DOT requirement. That is true. Let's see what I get on this thing. Gave me an 80%, 75. Womp womp. All right. So now you got to retake it. So basically, it just gives you the same questions to take. Yep. And it doesn't. True. And then that one was false because we had answered true the first time around. And that is true. Okay. It says click the button on the right and receive credit for it. Then it says goodbye. Well, forget you too then, shoot. Okay, what's next? I'm going to go to the screen right here. Oh, shoot. So we're going to go to a next screen. Let me see something. I think I got one more lesson in me before I call it a night. I think I got one more. All right. As a matter of fact, let's go back to that screen so y'all can see exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah. All right. So This is the Swift page that you will always go back to if something happens and you log out, right? Or you close your screen out and you're right back at this page, and it tracks your progress, okay? And it says that I had completed the last module, driver pre-trip. That's for me. That's what I did. I'm 15% through it of 20 modules. Is that 20 of them? Or is this the 30 pack? Yeah, 20. Yep. All right. So I'm 15% through. And I should be able to get through it, you know. All right. Let's try to get one more done before the evening's up. Hazmat. Phone app. Let's try that there. Let's go through this page. Nope. And as always, you might have to go to a different tab, but once you do, you know, hit this start button right here. And if you're in your iPhone or your tablet, you know, of course, make sure that your pop-ups are unblocked. Okay, so let's go and get here. Benefits and who to contact using the app. Once you complete Hazmat briefing, you will be able to complete your loaded call, Macro 2, which bypasses the Hazmat hotline. If this is your first time accessing the app, please call our Hazmat hotline. After you complete the briefing, you will get an immediate access to Emergency Response Guide booklet. That's it. This is it right here. It says that it is in your app store. So go download that. I might as well go ahead and download that, ain't it? I'm gonna just go ahead and do it right now. I mean, like, why not? Truckstore.com. That's where you gotta go. Truckscore.com. Yeah, there it is too. Then you got the cookies up here. I don't want to do no cookies. All right, so that's what it looked like. Let me go back to StreamYard. Can't quite see it, huh? But yeah, so you get the opportunity to, it says Transportation Performance Inc. As a matter of fact, let's just do this. So y'all can see exactly what I'm looking at. All right. And the mobile app is a little bit different from your desktop. Then you got a different bunch of tabs up here to look through. Driver performer, hazmat performer, company, about, training, contact list, contact, next step, reduce costs, management, customer login. Let me see. That's probably what we're going to need, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But let's get back to this one right here. So you do that after you complete the hazmat briefing. Seems legit, right? Register your hazmat Informa app.
Hello, and welcome to this tutorial video on how to register your TPI app. First, you must download the app from your mobile marketplace like the Play Store or the App Store. Once you have completed the download and installation, you will need to agree to the one-time TPI disclaimer by clicking on the I have read and agree checkbox. Then click Store.
Oh, let's go back, man.
On how to register your TPI app.
Mm-hmm.
First, you must download the app from your mobile marketplace like the Play.
So would that be Hazmat Informa? Let's go back to the app, man. Hazmat Informa. Let's see if it's there. Now I'm gonna wait because there is an app up here that has 1,000 downloads and then 7 downloads. I'm just waiting.
Play Store or the App Store. Once you have completed the download and installation, you will need to agree to the one-time TPI disclaimer by clicking on the I have read and agree checkbox. Then click Continue. You will see the logon screen. In order to register, your company must first subscribe to TPI and have purchased the application. To register, first click Register Your Hazmat Account. On the registration
Well, there you go.
screen, enter your company's DOT number in the company code box. If you need your
You'll probably be doing all of that at orientation.
company's DOT number, please check either side of your unit or vehicle or contact your supervisor. Enter your company
So you'll get you a truck too.
assigned driver code in the box labeled driver code. Next, enter your full name, valid email address, and desired password. Twice to confirm. And click Register at the bottom. Click OK. You will receive an email from the app to the email address you provided. Once you have received the email, open it and click the link inside the email to confirm the email address. This message appears once the link validation is completed. Return to the logon screen and enter your email address and password set during the registration process. Click the Log On button. You are now ready to begin.
Good for you. All right, I got another video.
Hello and welcome to this tutorial video on how to use TPI's Hazmat Informer app. The Hazmat Informer app is a tool intended to help shippers, drivers, and motor carriers properly and efficiently haul hazardous materials.
If
you have not registered your Hazmat app, then please watch the How to Register video first. Let's get started. Use your email and password established during the registration process to log on to the app. You are now on the home screen. To begin, simply click or tap on the Start New Load. Choose the number of trailers or units in this load. You can choose to load multiple trailers. If you are loading the hazardous material,
and I would assume that we're talking about hazmat material, you will probably have to get your endorsements. All right.
into one trailer,
If you're not endorsed, go and get endorsed. Are you endorsed? Let me know in the comment section.
you would indicate 1. Click or tap the Next button in the top right-hand corner. Enter just the numerical portion of the identification number of the material clearly listed on the shipping papers. Enter the weight also listed on the shipping papers. Then tap or click Load Item. You are then asked to indicate if the item is being shipped in bulk, as a limited quantity, or is a poison inhalation hazard.
I know that's right.
If you are loading more than one item in this trailer, repeat the process by entering the next identification number and weight, and click Load Item. Remember to click how the items are being shipped. Tap or click Finish in the top right-hand corner. Hazmat Informer then uses the information you provided to make a placarding recommendation based on the regulations. Hazmat Informer will also tell you if the items in the trailer cannot be loaded together. If this happens, your phone will vibrate and this message will appear. If you do get this message, do not haul the load. Notify the shipper that the items are incompatible and then contact your company for direction. Tap or click the Close button at the bottom of the screen. You might also get this message depending on what items you have loaded. If you get this message, it means that the items can be loaded on the same trailer but must be safely segregated. Work with the shipper and your company to ensure that you have properly loaded these items before hauling them. Click the Close button on the bottom of the screen. For this example, Hazmat Informer recommends the following placard. In addition to the placard recommendations, you must scroll down through the recommendations to be sure you apply the placards correctly. Hazmat Informer will supply you with a briefing that contains critical reminders that deal with what to do before you leave the shipper, while in transit, and after you have delivered the load. Remember to scroll to the bottom of the
Hey, she had paused. I thought something had happened. Like, hold up.
briefing screens to see all the critical reminders. You can then tap or click the Finish in the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Hey, hazardous material is dangerous business. That's why it is called hazardous materials. And usually those loads, they pay better.
This will return you to the home screen for Hazmat Informer. Hazmat Informer keeps this information active until you indicate you wish to begin a new load. So once you've entered this information, you can access the placard recommendations and, if necessary, edit the current load by clicking on the loaded item summary. Also from the home screen, you have access to other valuable functions. First, if you have a problem with an item in transit, you have immediate access to the emergency response guide information for each of the items that you are hauling. Tap or click the home icon in the top left corner of the screen. Hazmat Informer also provides you a brief example to help you properly identify whether or not an item is a hazardous material. From the home screen, simply click or tap the How to Identify Hazardous link. You will see the following example and the rules for recognizing hazardous materials. Once you are done reviewing this information, click on the home icon in the top left corner of the screen to return to the Hazmat Informer main menu. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to TPI's Hazmat Informer video.
You're welcome. Oh. Get back to that screen. Let's see. Because we're going to go ahead and finish on up while we're here. All right. Scroll down. In the course. Ooh. All right. We're just going to click this yellow or orange button right here. And it says buy. Okay. All right, so let's see our progress so far, what it comes up with. Let's see what we got. Boom, boom. All right. So we had completed Hazmat tonight. Hazmat took us an hour, man. Jesus. All right. It says this one right here is going to take 16 minutes. I don't feel like it tonight. It is 8:30. I got to get up in the morning, get my mind right. But let's see what we got going on, though, man. Let's see. It says that I am 20% complete. I like that. All right, man. So that's it, man. That is the first 4 modules. That is 20% of the first round of modules. I got 19 more to go, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. This is me on my journey to being a company driver. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section or even make a video. Let me know. This is your boy, AK Harrison from whoisakharrison.com. Also, catch me at bigmoneytrucker.com. Until next time, dog. We out, man. Peace.